Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Grayson. I hope you're doing well. As promised, I want us to spend a little bit of time showing you how you can go about creating a new survey in Qualtrics. So one of the things that I wanted to start off with is to show you how you get into Qualtrics itself. And I provided in Canvas the instructions step by step on how you get into Qualtrics. So basically, you're just going to go to qualtrics.com and click on the login screen. You'll see here, this is my personal login for DSU, and in the Canvas instructions, I have the login for the class. So you'll want to use that particular login information and password. I'm using my own because I am just going to show you, start building an academic study that I am doing. So here's what the template or what the dashboard is going to look like once you log in. And you'll see, I know that there's some students that already have some surveys that have been going on. What I want you to do is, for the first time you log in, create new project over here on the right hand navigation. And then all of this information here is information or regular pre-populated surveys that Qualtrics has done. But since you are creating your own survey, you're just going to click on survey right here. And then you can do a number of things. You could take a copy of a survey that you've already created in Qualtrics and copy that. We're not doing that in this class. I want you to start from fresh. You can also select some of the surveys that Qualtrics already has. But what we're going to do is stick with a blank project. And then up here in the right hand upper navigation, click Get Started. So you'll see here, you're going to get a blank canvas on for you to start creating your survey. So the first thing that I always do is name the project. And in my case, I'm going to show you what I have going on here. One of the best ways to start a survey in Qualtrics, and a good best practice, is to create all of your questions and the introduction, all of the copy and the instructions you want to do in a separate Word document or Google Form document. This way, you have everything you need to do, and you're not really creating right inside Qualtrics, which can get a little bit clumsy. So this is the name of my project. I'm working on an academic study on consumer perception related to sports team name changes. So I'm just going to go back into Qualtrics. Whoops. You can see how busy my life here is with my screen. If I can find... Yeah, here's Qualtrics. So right here where it says Untitled Project, just click in there. I'm just going to paste the name from my document. Well, I guess it's not letting me do that. Let me just put in here sports team name changes. You should be able to copy and paste right out of your document. I'm not quite sure why that didn't work. User error most likely. So that's the first thing you're going to do, and you're going to notice here you can select your sports team name changes up there just to be sure that we are working on your project. So you will see that Qualtrics will automatically add a block for you. And what a block is a series of questions that we generally relate to a particular topic. So I like to keep all of my similar questions in various blocks. And the reason I do that is because I can then move the blocks up and down or add information like instructions or things within the survey. So just keep in mind that a block is like a piece of information that you want to keep as an individual requirement. So I'm just going to start moving ahead here and making my survey. And there's a couple of things that you can note here. Under block options, this is if you had more than one block, you can move it up and down, etc. But what I would like to do here is just to start creating my question block. And my question block here, I'm going to name it. And what I'm naming it is going to be my variable. So remember, we talked a lot about variables. So I am going to put my variable here as team underscore name, team names. That's what I'm going to call my block so I know what I'm interested in understanding. So that said, what I'm going to do is if when you click on your question here, you'll be able to see that Qualtrics has a number of different types of survey types and scales that you can use. And we went over a number of these in class. And what I would like to do for my particular top block, and what you should think about maybe doing for yours as well, is before we get into actually asking the respondent for to answer the questions, I want to create an introductory paragraph for them. So the way that I do that is of all of these question types here in Qualtrics, I do a descriptive text. And basically what that is it isn't a question at all. It is just a box that you can use for a paragraph. So now that I recall that's what I want my first thing to be, I'm going to go up here and call my block introduction because I wasn't quite ready yet to start loading in my questions. So if you go back to my document on my survey, sort of my thought block and what I need to put into the actual survey program, I'm going to copy my introduction. So if you recall, a few sessions ago, we spent some time talking about the importance of introductions so that you get a higher response rate. So I've drafted an introduction. And I am going to simply put that introduction right here. And once I have it there, just click right out of that. So you can see here that it's going to say, hi, I'm conducting a survey, blah, 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 with all of my best practices in here. So that's the first thing that I want to do. This is what the person is going to see when they go into Qualtrics before they start answering the survey. So we're just thanking them for their participation. So the next thing that I want to do is I am going to, at this point, add another block. And what I'm going to call this block is qualification. So if you remember, we spent some time talking about the different types of questions and ethics and morals around research. And one of the things that I always do in consumer research is ensure that the participant is over the age of 18. So to do this, what I am going to do is add a qualifying question. And so let's see right here, I'm going to select create new question. And my qualifying question, if I go back to my document here, where I've got everything nicely pre-populated, I am going to select my copy here, my qualifying question, which happens to be, are you 18 years of age or older? Go back into Qualtrics. And I'm going to paste that question right here. So my question is going to be, are you 18 years or older? Now, because I have selected on here a multiple choice question, Qualtrics is automatically going to come up with some options for me. So I am going to, they've noticed that I want to do a multiple choice question. They're smart enough to figure that out. So I am going to go and type in or paste in my answer choices. So I have either yes, I'm 18 years or older, or no. They select, look at that, it populated. I'm going to say no, I remove the choice. I don't want that to maybe. So this is an important thing to note here. So in this case, this is a qualifying question. It was really easy. They populated the answer choices for me. I didn't even have to type it. But what I want to show you here is that in this case, if a person says they are not over the age 18 or over in terms of age, they do not qualify for the question. So what I'm going to want to do is select something called skip logic. So I'm going to put my question here, go down to what's called add skip logic. And what skip logic will automatically do is say, if they select no, in this case, then I'm going to take them to the end of a survey. And when we get to the end of the survey, we're going to write a thank you for participating in this survey. So we could do that and just take them to our last page. What we will do at the end of when we're done populating the questions is create a paragraph similar to what I did with the introduction that will just let the person know thanks for the survey. Now that we've finished our qualifying question, I want to add a different type of question. And as you know, for your project, I've asked that you have a minimum of two separate types of questions that you will have for your survey. So what I just did here was add a block because I am going to move to a different type of question. And the questions that I am interested in asking now, I'm going to make my block name Brand Love. So I'm going to be using some brand love measures from a scale that's created. And I'm going to go back to my document that I had with all of my questions that I've had prepared in a Word format, so it's easy for me to copy and paste. And so my questions on brand love are in a matrix format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply copy the question that I'm interested in answering. And I am going to go to my question options. You'll see that Quatrics had automatically populated a multiple choice. What I'm interested in doing for this particular set of questions is a match table. So this is kind of cool here. It's going to populate a table for you. I'm going to paste in the question that I had, and I'm going to clean it up and put in an actual team name here. So let's say, to what extent do you agree or disagree with these statements related to the sports team? Let's pick one that we're interested in understanding with the team name Washington Redskins. I choose them because they're going through a name change process as we speak, so I thought that would be a good example. So let's see what consumers might be interested in stating answers for these questions. So when I pick the multiple table up here, it automatically populated a matrix table with over here are my answer or my questions, my statements, and over here is the degree to which people care about that. So right now it's pre-populated a 3-point scale. I am interested in a 5-point Likert scale. So I'm going to increase my scale points to 5. So you will see here there's going to be 5 different options. Now what I want to do is, now that I've told it that I want a 5-point scale, I'm going to populate in here. Okay, let's go back to my original. I did a strongly disagree to strongly agree 5-point Likert scale. So I'm going to copy strongly disagree and then paste it into my first option here for Quatrics and enter it. And voila, look what they did. Oh, they did not like my 5-point scale, and they changed it to a 7-point scale. So they pre-populated question choices for me. If you go up here and you look at the scale, it'll give you all kinds of different Likert scale options. I wanted the agree to disagree scale, but no, sorry, Quatrics, I am interested in a 5-point Likert scale because for my survey, that is what I want to measure. So that said, what I'm going to go and do that I've got my Likert scale completed, I'm going to go in and create my statements. So I'm going to click right in here and paste. See how much easier this is when you have a document that you're working from? You don't have to worry about your grammar and your spelling. It's all going to pre-populate for you. I have two more options on my scale, as you see here. So I'm on option, or I'm on statement number 3. Ooh, we don't want to do that. Let me copy that. Paste it in my third option. You'll see that it only populated 3 options for me. Just hit enter, it'll give you an extra option. So you're in control of the software, but it helps guide you, which is nice. It's a good time-saving tool for you. Okay, so I am just going to click out of here, and you can see that my question is complete. So if I were to go through, you can see from I have another couple of matrix tables that I'm interested in doing. I've got another matrix table, but this one is a scale of extremely likely to unlikely to likely, and that is whether people are interested in buying merchandise. And then what is important here is when you are finished with populating your survey questions, if you recall, we looked above, we had this answer here, this question on are you 18 years or older, yes or no, and we were going to, if the person selected no, we were going to take them to a specific message. So what I typically do when I've completed a survey is I add a block. I'm going to name this block conclusion, or conclusion paragraph, or statement, conclusion statement, let's call it that. So we're going to thank our respondents for taking the survey. So in this case, if you recall, when we looked at, or when we created our introduction, I'm letting my respondents know that if they are interested in signing up for a chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card, they can do so. It's just sort of a thank you. So when I'm creating my last statement here, I am going to create a block like I did in the beginning for, I'm going to change it from multiple choice to descriptive. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an option for a text entry, and I'll show you why. Because remember in my qualifying question, or my introduction, I said, are you interested in signing up for a survey? And what I need to know is if they're, for a chance to win. If they say yes, I want to be able to capture their information. So I am going to write thank you for participating in this study. If you are interested in entering the drawing for a $25 Amazon gift card, please provide your email address. And then this block right here, this entry form, will allow us to be able to capture that data. So as you can tell here, we are completely finished with our survey. Obviously, I didn't put the entire survey on here. I'd add some demographic questions. I have about 4 more question blocks to add, but this is going to show you what your survey looks like. So let's take a peek at it. I went up to the top of the survey, clicked on preview, and here's my introductory paragraph. All right here, are you 18 years or older? Yes. So that's going to take me to my next set of questions, and I can fill these out randomly. Hopefully not randomly for the subscriber. And then I can enter in my email address to participate. And then I'm done. Pretty easy. So once I'm going to go back to my survey. This was a preview. I'm going back to the other window. I'm going to publish my survey now. Oh, it's telling me I did a great job. Woohoo! So I'm going to publish my survey. Once you publish your survey, looks like you may have a survey offering incentives without appropriate settings. It may be possible to take advantage of people. They're giving you a warning there. I want to make sure that we follow those rules in the survey world. So that's what you're going to do. That's just a quick introductory in how to set up your survey. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via Canvas email, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can to help you be able to set up your survey. So remember, you need to start doing this right away. We're going to start going through these surveys next week. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your week.